My name is Tim Johnson. This is Recovery, Strength, Hope and Courage. This is a quite short video today, and I want to share it with those of you out there because I tend to forget sometimes that a lot of people that watch these videos and videos like these are currently really struggling with maybe coming off suboxone or coming off their drug of choice or coming off alcohol or in the early stages of recovery, may have relapsed over Christmas. I mean, lots of different things, but certainly still the struggle is ahead, you know, and you may be in a space now that you don't want to hear anyone telling you how great sobriety is going to be for you and what gifts it will bring into your life and everything's la-di-da and everything's happy, because life isn't life like that at all, as you know. I mean, you've probably got amongst trying to give up and stop, you're probably trying to hold down a job, you're probably supporting your family or contributing to supporting your family, you're trying to bring up your children and all the stress and worry that brings with it. You may be struggling for money in your career. You may have had some bad things happen in your life recently. You know, you may have, God forbid, lost a loved one even, or any number of horrible things may have happened. But the message I've got for you here today really is that, life is a struggle and a battle. But if you carry on the way you are, if you carry on with the drink or the drugs or whatever your addiction is, try and picture yourself in 5 years' time, whatever's happened in your life or whatever's happening in your life, try and picture yourself in 5 years' time. And picture yourself carrying on what you're doing for 5 years, you know, drinking and taking the drugs, because don't forget, that will escalate. There's no doubt about that, because that's what happens, because, you know, it only numbs stuff for a short while until you need to build up the dose, until you're dependent and you're just on that hamster wheel I talk about, the cycle of addiction, just despair and unhappiness. Just think 5 years ahead and the damage that will be done to you and your family in that 5 years, to your job, but most of all to your, sorry, not to your job, that's the wrong thing to say, to your family, to yourself, to your health, the people that love you, that surround you. What will happen? What will be happening in 5 years when this has escalated and it's got worse and worse and worse and worse, and you've destroyed everything that you love and everything that you hold dear, and that you finally destroy yourself, and it takes your life in a long, slow, painful death, as I've said before. You know, what's more depressing, that scenario, or the scenario of a struggle and a fight and choosing life and choosing to live your life on your terms? You know, you're not what happened to you, basically, or you're not what happens to you, you're what you choose to become. You know, and I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, because it wasn't. But if I look back to 18 months ago, or 2 years ago even, and I was in the same position as anyone struggling watching this, and I've been in addiction for so many years, so if I can do it, and you know, you can definitely do it. You know, you've got so much to live for, you know, and you need to be able to hold your head up and have pride in yourself again, and have the people that love you have pride in you and respect for you again. Because if you look 5 years ahead now, if you're not taking drugs or drinking alcohol or whatever you're doing, then the scenario is very much different than the first scenario. Because slowly but surely, there's no doubt about it, your life will come back to you, as mine has. You know, people look at me in a different light now. Yes, it's a hard struggle, certainly for the first few months, and you don't seem to be seeing any light at the end of the tunnel. But if you analyse each day, each moment gradually gets better and better if you just hold on and if you just do the right things. Look back at my other videos about, you know, what to do in early recovery and how to cope. But basically, it's about changing your habits and changing your mindsets and re-educating your brain. And it's a slow process. And there are going to be days you're going to feel like giving up, and moments you're going to feel like giving up. And there's going to be moments, you know, that you're going to feel dark and depressed and down. Because life's not a bed of roses, life's going to happen around it. The difference is you need to teach yourself how to handle those things that happen around you without the stress and without turning to that crutch that you've been using for all these years. as I did for 30 years, 35 years. You know, and it is hard. But once you get through, you know, you don't look back. You just don't look back. You're only going one way. You're only moving forward. It's in your brain. You're moving forward. And each day brings another little gift. Slow, slow progress. Yes, but all of a sudden, the darkness, because there's an old Simon Garfunkel song, isn't there? Hello, darkness, my old friend. You've come to talk to me again. And that darkness does come back and talk to you. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of you are probably feeling that now. What's the point? Well, the point is, you know, life is precious and consciousness is precious and your family are precious and you're precious. You're worthy. Love yourself. Don't destroy yourself with this shit, because that's what will happen. And everyone around you and everything around you will disappear. You know, and if that's your choice, then that's fine. You choose that. But I decided not to choose that 18 months ago, or 2 years ago probably now, when I chose. I looked for help. I knew I was powerless. I knew I wanted to, I wanted to change deep down. I knew I had to change, but the difficulty was, did I want to change? And then I knew, when I looked at my children and I looked at the possibilities I still had in my life, I knew I wanted to change. And then I looked for help. So you do the same thing. But if you're in early recovery and you've made that, you've been brave and you've been strong. You know, it's I don't know how to put this. You're braver than you believe. You know, you're stronger than you think you are. Dig deep, because if you just hold on and you do the right things each day, little things, just introduce little things, simple things into your diet, simple little exercise, getting out every day, simple little goals, new goals, you know. Like I said in one of my videos the other day, if you keep the promises you make to yourself, then your self-worth will shoot up. Make little promises to start with to yourself now. I'm going to drink 4 glasses of water today. Drink the water. Keep the promise. Then make the same promise the next day. Do that for a week and see how much better you feel. The next week, go out and walk for 20 minutes every day. Keep that promise to yourself. It will get better, guys. Choose life. Don't choose addiction, because addiction will only there's only one end road to addiction, and that's a hospital bed with tubes coming out of you, with your family gathered around you, those that perhaps still want to be around you and perhaps still love you and care, because not many people will probably, while you're in excruciating agony and bleeding from every orifice. Or you choose the other path, the path that perhaps you've chosen now, and each day, and it's a struggle for a year, 6 months, year, however long it is, and all of a sudden the clouds will part, because that happiness is within you. You don't need to search for it. You know, all the spiritual stuff is great, but you don't need to search for that happiness, because it's inside you, and you are worthy, and you are worth the effort. And the clouds will part, and all of a sudden you'll think, Christ, yeah, why didn't I do this earlier? And that will happen to you. So that's for those of you struggling anyway. It's just a little message. And, you know, I'm here for anybody who needs me. If you want to email me for any advice or help or support, I'm always about. And life is good. You know, what can I say? Life is good. The gifts that sobriety has brought back into my life are innumerable. You know, too many to mention. And each day another new gift arrives in it that I'm not expecting. So persevere. Commitment, self-discipline, consistency. But most of all, do you really want it for you and the people that are around you? Look ahead. What will I be like in 5 years? What will happen to me if I carry on the path I'm on? Good or bad? Much love to you all. Take care of yourselves. Carpe Diem. Seize the day today. Make the change. Make the effort. Get your head down and try. And try. That's all you can do. Do your best. All you can do is do your best. Much love. Bye-bye.